Tie a John Schultz, Jeff Wagner polar bunny pattern, but we're going to tie it with some different colors today. I'm going to start my orange thread down about halfway. It's a number 4 hook. It's a Gamakatsu S10S. I'm going to use some root beer polar chenille. And I like to tie it in up towards the front. Bring it back to the very back, right to the barb of the hook. The color we're going to use is peach. Get my super glue. Dab right on the back where my tail's going to go. I'm going to do about 4 or 5 wraps back here to secure my rabbit at the back of my hook. I'll put a little dab of super glue over the back of the hook, and that'll hold it even better. So I'm just going to use just some water-based head cement that dries a little slower, and when it sets, I think it'll hold as well as the super glue will. And basically it's just to keep my rabbit from slipping around my hook. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my rabbit around. I'm going to get my leather nice and flat, and then I'm going to bring my polar chenille. And I'm going to try to get them everything facing backwards the best I can. I'm going to do my first wrap. When I get up here to the head, I'm going to go ahead and do 1 wrap with my polar chenille. Bring my thread under. So the head is by far the hardest part of these flies to get them right. And you need to have a really strong head on these flies also. A couple of wraps, and then I'm going to come in with my scissors. And I'm going to trim out my polar chenille first. And I want to make sure that my leather doesn't crowd my head up here. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully. Okay, and now I can stroke everything back, and I can grab a hold of that leather with my thread. Because the hair is not going to hold this fly together. It's got to be that leather. Okay, so I want to get a nice, strong head. I'm going to wet my fingers, and I can push everything back. And I'm going to go ahead and do my whip finish. I want to build this head a little bit more. And so I'm going to build it with my whip finish wraps. Okay. And then instead of head cement, I'm going to go ahead and do some UV, just the UV flow. And I'm going to go ahead and coat my thread wraps. Try to stay out of my eye. Nice thing about UV is that if I do get it in my eye, I can do something about that before I set it. Hit it with the torch. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I like this new color. Tail's a little bit twisted. It's just a defect in the leather. And I'm pretty happy with the way everything turned out. So,